One thing I love about this series is how it showed LA and how it showed like real LA and real people and real things and gentrification and issues. Are any of you guys from LA or live in LA?
Yeah, I live there now.
I live there, but I'm not from there.
I've lived there for about 20 years. I mean, one of the things about the pilot was it was actually Robert, when we first sat down, he had already set in his mind that we should shoot Los Angeles just because he really wanted something that was distinct from rural Georgia. And then we hired Adam Davidson, directed the pilot, and worked on season 1 and then into season 2. And he's a native Angelino, born and raised. So we ended up with a lot of, really wonderful locations that, I, even having lived there, I wouldn't have necessarily thought of, but that was key.
Did you guys get to know LA while you were filming on the streets and everywhere?
I'm from New Zealand, but I've been to LA.
You've been once or twice?
Yes.
I know LA like the back of my hand, so everywhere we went,
What is
I knew
happening
it.
right now? What is? I think he just killed someone, you guys. I'm not quite sure.
I know
It's given him
LA.
confidence.
I think LA, no matter what, has been just very important to the writers in terms of what the demographics were of East LA. So I think they found it in the way we're from all over the place, and so it's
Right.
just like East LA. You have all
It's
of
a
our
melting
backgrounds.
pot.
It truly is. We're really just the most diverse cast, I think, on television. I think we are.
Ever.
How's filming in Mexico? How's that going?
That's fantastic.
Is it?
Have you spent any time in Mexico?
A little, but not filming running from walkers.
Mexico's awesome. We have most of 90% of our
Crew, yeah.
are Mexican.
It's Mexicano.
Mexicano nationals. And we're having a good time. People are kind. They're very supportive. They're very excited that we're there.
It's such a warm culture.
Yeah.
A lot of good food.
Yeah. Does everyone from The Walking Dead hate that you guys get to film in Mexico and they are stuck in very, very hot Atlanta?
Well, it sounds like it as of today, right?
Well, that until we tell them the only sort of downside for us is it's quite windy. We're in a microclimate,
Yeah, the wind
so
sucks.
we're in the ADR room. What would
All
you
the
say?
time.
All the time.
95%.
Literally 95% of the time. We're
I sleep
because
at
you can't
Woerner
hear
Brothers.
anything. Yes, he's got a cot in the back.
Yeah.
Does that impact the plot, the wind, or anything like that? Any of the landscape of Mexico impact the plot?
No.
The landscape is really beautiful. Mexico brings a lot to the show in terms of the landscape, the architecture, the culture.
One of the reasons we wanted to not just shoot in Mexico, but actually set the story there, was that there's a different understanding and appreciation of death. The dead are not necessarily seen as being, monsters. They're not necessarily seen as something that we have to be afraid of, which is a strange duality because on the one hand, as anybody knows who watches The Walking Dead, you should be very afraid. But, there's a different appreciation and they walk around it differently. So that'll be something fun to explore, I think, when we get to the back half.